All right, so let's see. What would be most likely here? I think these might just have to be flat random because they're all, pretty wild possibilities. All right, here we go. 4. It's the one that you suggested, Bob, because he becomes convinced he's encountered true deities and is one of them. So what's his play here then? He thinks he's one of the. So I mean, here let's maybe introduce a little bit of the lore here. So in the Elder Coast and Numenacris, so from the Eye of Maga all the way to Rama and the lands of Numenacris, they believe in the Great Spirits, which are kind of like an elemental pantheon of like. There's the Great Smith who's forged the world. There's a few different ones, and they believe that Maga is one of the Great Spirits. So it could be perhaps he believes that he's encountered these great spirits and has this whole new idea about them, or it could be just totally something he's made up, like his own idea of the gods. There's other religions. There's the Talishar city here. They believe in a god that roams the desert far to the north here, and they believe that one of their kings once was able to kind of be advised by that god and speak with him. So he could. There's probably more lore there that he could have heard about, and then it becomes part of his reality. And we also know about the sky god, who he would have heard a lot about the sky god recently. So maybe he suddenly becomes convinced he's related to the sky god. You know. After converting a bunch of their temples to his beliefs, he gets converted back to theirs. Few options for you there. Looks like we might have gotten a new viewer, so I'll just say welcome to the Knaves Guild. I'm Nick, and if you're interested in joining in, we're doing some like interactive role-playing game here, so kind of developing a wiki for this whole world, the world of Gethra, and just feel free to say hi if you'd like. We always appreciate having another character enter the mythos. Meliam has decided that Barrett is her perfect suitor, and we're gonna lose Amon. That's okay. I don't know that we're gonna finish this cult saga tonight because the cult of Meliam has just risen in power so substantially. Even when it starts to decline in power, there's still a story there. So Emma Ishtar, we can still see what happens with Aeon next time. We'll just fill that in once we get there. I assume you gotta head to work. So, anyway, enjoy either way, and feel free to chip back in next time. He meets the gods and decides he is one. Meliam has decided that Bara is her perfect suitor and has decided to ascend him to godhood when he dies. He begins purging the cult of those who would disagree with his ascendancy. Okay, cool. So he's kind of like getting his house ready for him to ascend. I think he helps the cult at the start for his own gain and own infos. Yeah, I think that's kind of what we had talked about there, Aeon. The loss of memory is the cost of his separating from the material plane. So these are all things that he's kind of just believing on his own, not necessarily true. Loss of memory is the cost. Yeah, okay. I like the idea that Master Patain is like, he doesn't believe that he has any memory issues, and his cult's like, man, you gotta go into the healing waters and get healed. You're losing it. And he's like, nah, I'm not losing it, but fine, I'll try. He goes in, he's like, you're right, I am ascending now. Sure, that makes sense, Amon Ishtar. When something starts to fall for the cult, I'll have him turn against them as well. Okay, so let's describe some of this in the wiki here. Over the next couple of years, the cult of Meliam spread into the west, and the Eye of Mega was brought under its control. In an effort to save their leader, the cult had Master Patain bathe in the healing waters of Maga. Rather than having the desired effect, Patain emerged from the waters convinced his memory loss was the first symptom of his ascendancy to godhood. Godhood in the form of marrying, we'll say wedding Meliam herself. All right. Petain's new first order of business was to purge the cult of those who might oppose his rise. Okay, so I think then we're going to have to randomize that and see. So I guess the question then is, who do you think would oppose Petain's rise? Who, like, from your perspective as Petain, we have the cult ringleaders who were kind of starting to manipulate things and control things for Petain, thinking he couldn't. So maybe he thinks they're trying to get in his way, or perhaps there's some sort of like separate kind of sect within the cult that has their own agenda, and he's like, no, not out with these guys. Or is it just witch hunts and there's no sense to it? It's just like, I don't like this guy today, so he's going. Witch hunts, nice. Okay. With little rhyme and reason, Petain began. Is he killing them off, or banishing, excommunicating them from the cult? It's a mix. All right. Depending on what he believes is a suitable punishment for them. With a little rhyme and reason, Petain began eliminating members of the cult with seemingly no discretion. Some were banished, or we'll say excommunicated, while others, witch hunts could be aimed at. Oh yeah, you could see. I think Aeon maybe sees Petain start acting all like, I'm going to get rid of him, I'm going to get rid of him. And Aeon could just kind of point specific people into Petain's path and be like, oh, yeah, you should, go talk to Petain when he knows Petain's in a bad mood and is going to do something, With little rhyme and reason, Petain began eliminating members of the cult with seemingly no discretion. Some were excommunicated, while others were put to death. Seeing the chaos, Aeon Isitar positioned key members against Petain whenever he could. I think I'll give Petain the benefit of the doubt here, and we'll roll a dice on this and just say, does Petain pick up on a pattern of people who are seemingly crossing him, or is he just so oblivious in his fugue state that he's gone into with this? Does Petain smell foul play at all? I think it's. I'm not going to make it. I make it like this. There. So it's close to 50-50, but it's a little bit more likely that he doesn't notice the foul play because he believes he's a god now, so he might not. He might think, I would know if there's something up here, Exactly. Do you want me to just not roll it, Babacus? Do you think Petain just won't notice. Or alternatively, we could also add an option on here that he just happens to decide. Yeah, okay. Let's say this. He just happens to decide to target Aeon. We'll say Aeon's network. I don't want it to. We're not going to have Aeon get killed here, unless things continue to go worse. Yeah, but it could be coincidental that the people that you have influence over Aeon are the ones that he takes out. So let's see here. Oh wait, I'll make that less likely because that does seem like it's kind of a fluke if that happens. So, all right, here we are. Go. Oops. Roll the dice here. So we're doing another 6. 2. Nope. Okay, so I'll say that kind of succeeds. There's a little bit of weakening done by Aeon Ishtar against the cult in this moment. Seeing the chaos, Aeon Ishtar positioned key members against Patain where he could, slightly weakening some of the cult's organization. Huh. There's not really a good category for that, is there? Alright, I'm also going to rename this conflict because 735 is not, like, it's gone well beyond that. And it's also strange to call it a crisis when it's the rise of an entire, like, religion. The rise of, we'll say the spread of Melium. Alrighty, I think we maybe should take a break here. It is getting a little late here for me, and we got quite a bit done, and I like the idea of having the future of the cult still to be determined. We can continue on next time. So, yeah, but I think this was great. Thanks for taking part, guys, and playing along. It's nice to see. I mean, sure, we're not attracting too many new viewers or anything yet, but it's still nice to see some familiar names, and enjoying the result here. We're gonna have quite some stories. So, and also these characters have been quite compelling. Patain and compelling combined. There you go. All right. Well, anyway, take it easy, guys, and again, maybe tomorrow night I'll continue this if you guys are online. I can also just work on the podcast some more, but we'll see how it goes. See if we get any newcomers as well. Oh, and let's see if I put this in a category so you guys can link to it easily. Let's see. Yeah, it's in world events. Great. Awesome. Have a good night, guys. And thanks for coming by.